Marissa groaned, dizzy, and collapsed against the vampire. He'd drugged her, but she was too euphoric to care. All that mattered was that he kept stroking her, that his breath kept washing over her skin, that she remained pressed against his tight chest. "You may touch me," he whispered, licking the edge of her ear. She was swift to do so, her hands seeking every line of his chest. He was strong and lean, tight with muscles but not bulky. Other than a scattering of hair below his belly button and a few scars, he was utterly smooth. "Where did you get these?" Marissa was breathless, her words choking out in a rush. She stared at him, wondering when he was going to kiss her with his lovely mouth. Lost in his eyes, she ran her fingers back and forth over one long scar. Riley didn't blink, just held her gaze. He cradled her with one arm, tracing her décolletage with the other. She shivered as his fingers crossed the tops of her breasts. Like most young men, I obtained them through foolishness. "I like them." She wasn't sure why she said it, just that she enjoyed the feel of the extra smooth skin under her fingertips. "Stand up," he said suddenly. Marissa's legs were unsteady, but, with his assistance, made it to her feet. "I want to undress you." He stood before her and reached for the laces on her back. She could do nothing but hold on to his waist as he loosened her bodice. Riley worked with vampiric speed, stripping her to scanty underthings in a few heartbeats. Marissa trembled and blushed, suddenly shy. "Oh my," he said, stepping back to examine her. "So sweet and innocent and wonderful. I'm very glad you came back." She couldn't move, couldn't get past her sudden shyness. Even the pleasure wine filling her blood did nothing to bolster her courage. Tears even filled her vision as Riley perused her figure. The vampire cupped her head, jerking the young woman into a fierce kiss. His lips were shocking, his tongue cold as it pressed into her mouth. Marissa's pulse jumped and her extremities tingled. She wrapped her arms around his strong shoulders, molding her body against his. As first kisses went, she wouldn't complain. She even responded, sliding her tongue into his mouth, and winced when she sliced her tongue against a fang. Riley growled at the immediate taste of blood, stiffening. His hands crooked against her scalp, his tongue frozen halfway into her mouth. Another drip of blood fell and his growl deepened. Marissa should have been scared, should have fled. Instead, she trembled with excitement, heat coiling in her loins. She wanted him with a passion she'd never experienced before. Anything he wanted, she'd give to him, and not just because of the wine. He jerked her from the kiss, diving for her neck with another growl. Marissa cried out, spine arching, knees buckling as his fangs pierced her delicate skin. Riley groaned as her blood filled his mouth and held her tighter. There was pain at first, sharp and intense, but there was no pushing him away. The vampire was too strong, and her body wouldn't respond. The agony would never end, but was so very brief. When her breath died in her lungs, when she thought she could take no more, ecstasy flooded her. Fire and electricity coursed through her nerves, raising every hair on her body. The low ache in her loins became roaring desire. Her hips bucked, and she pressed her neck against Riley's mouth. Marissa was boneless and light, full of rapture that was beyond description. He fed fiercely, clamping down on her neck, driving his fangs deeper into her. Riley sank to his knees, still holding the young woman close, and she folded neatly beneath him. Awareness of her body fled, leaving only the intense draw of Riley's feeding. Every sensation focused on their joining. The more he took, the lighter she was, the higher every spark of pleasure rose. Ecstasy grew to agony, begging for mercy. Riley stopped with a groan, clutching at Marissa. Physicality crushed into her, overwhelming her senses, causing a brief blackout. She groaned with the vampire, still trembling with climax. He eased them into a lying position, cradling her head on his shoulder. "Next time, I shall give you a proper seduction." Marissa smiled, eyes closing. "I'm quite satisfied with the journey we took." Sighing, content, she fell asleep in his arms. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, share with others. Social media links are below in the description. See you next time.